project focuses on the impacts of renovation on urban villagers' lives, specifically the old tenants and small business owners. As successful as the reconstruction might be economically, it has unelectable negative influences on the dwellers of this lively neighborhood. Our journey begins with brainstorming. 2022, May 27th, was our group's first meeting upon establishing. Initially, we decided to focus on reporting issues regarding social responsibility. Everyone contributed their ideas to narrow down the topic. There were proposals about wasting resources due to excessive takeout delivery industry and sharing economy, low carbon lifestyle, waste sorting, and so on. Until Urban Village jumped out and grasped everyone's attention, a new direction we've never thought about. It is a long way to where we are today. 7 members, 78 days, 6 interviews, 11 meetings, 30 hours of researching, 6 hours making this video, and countless times we've revised the article. To know more about our topic, our team visited some of the most typical urban villages in Shenzhen, including Baishizhou, Dazhong, Gangxia, Shuiwei, etc. Now, we profoundly understand that urban villages, rural communities surrounded by cities due to rapid urbanization, bear the great significance of history and their times. Urban villages, though disordered as they may appear, are lively neighborhoods and warm homes to their dwellers, especially those of the lower working class. Meanwhile, urban villages are undeniably facing renovation challenges in response to urban development.
就是您居住在南头古城这一块吗？
对，
在那个南头古城它改造之前，您就居住在这儿了吗？
我们都10多年了吧，当然相当夸张，一个单房就是搞到2000多了。
哦，对。
以前就是说几百块钱那么，你修改造一下的就搞到个2000多。
那是不是南头古城的居民就大家普遍对于房子变高了这件事情就是比较生气啊，对吧？就是比较反对态度。
现在我们都不打算在这搞的了。
哦，就是
因为房租那么高，我们工资才3-5千块钱，你算一下，除了房租吃的、喝的，什么都没了。
都把人赶走啊！人家正在住着，把人家东西吃出来，搞什么？
您觉得改造之后，除了这个费用方面的问题以外，还有什么影响吗？对您产生
2/3的房子都没租出去，人家都嫌贵啊，没人住啊，我们都没生意啊。
During our interviews, we collected different opinions from different groups of people residing in urban villages. The Aborigines, landless farmers that forcibly became city residents, earned high compensation due to the demolishment of old buildings, and most of them no longer live inside the village. Old tenants moving in before renovation are generally reported to have increasing rents, and some of them have already moved out due to a correspondingly rising burden. Owners of shops within urban villages complained about how new district stores hurt their businesses. In this sense, we know that the reconstruction of the urban village has affected people in diverse dimensions. After thorough discussion and consideration, we focused on investigating old tenants and business owners in urban villages. We hope to know their thoughts and needs regarding urban village renovation, explore better modes of reconstruction based on their stories and experiences, and guard their corner of warmth in this fast-moving society.
Looking through the online resources and promotional videos, we know that there is the reform of a village that has become widely spread on the internet, and our group has heard of this village. The architect's vision is new to us in the video, which caught our eyeballs and aroused our interest. But what is the actual situation there? How do residents feel living there? How is the business going on? We become curious and hold questions about visiting the Nantou ancient city.
有人说深圳的历史只有40年，我们要做的是让这1700年的历史让大家看见。对于我们而言，南头古城的1700年历史和深圳开放的40年历史同样重要。我们要做的不是改变它，而是留住它。
In the last 20 years, the housing price has rapidly increased in Shenzhen, which to some extent causes the housing price and rent to grow in an urban village. We chatted with some tenements, and they all said that they had spent a large proportion of income on house rent, so we can see that the increase in house price is unavoidable. But we should control the growth by considering the bearing capacity of the tenements. so that they may not leave the urban village and find somewhere else to live. Through deep research and comparison, we found that after the reform of the urban village, the high-dense skyscrapers, fashionable trendy business, and modernized city image replaced the village. Visiting Deeping there, you can't imagine that it was a village before. The price of housing and rent have a higher increase in percentage because of the large number of funds consumed by the reform. In contrast, the rent in Boyu in the Nantou ancient city increased by around 8% per year in the last 3 years. Mrs. Liao's convenience store had poor business, which is the most significant reason she complained to us during the interview. But the Bingma's dessert store had increased turnover, and there was not even an empty seat. The store was also well known on the internet. The core cause of such big differences is that the shop manager's thinking should keep pace with the era and trend instead of holding on to the outdated fashion. And at the same time, the government and property developers should create a better commercial environment for the proprietors to motivate people to catch up with the era with a holistic atmosphere. The architect Mr. Qian of Wancheng Design and Research Institute, who took charge of the reform of the Nantou ancient city, inspired us with his ideas. In the first stage, the reform is on the north-south main street. In the second stage, the reform is on the east-west street. You may see some stores remaining on the commercial street, but the business has been updated. So when you go to the ancient city, you may realize changes in alleys and courtyards. The architect said they didn't reconstruct all the buildings because they wished to keep the original tenements while promoting the quality of this place. The architects hope that the new inflow residents and the original tenements can live together peacefully, generously, and fairly. This is the power of reformation. After we finished the paper, the discussion about the increase in rent and store business has not actually stopped. In the last 40 years, Shenzhen developed from a small village beside the sea to a modern city with a GDP higher than Hong Kong. This change is a miracle in the city's development and economic history. The urban village plays a vital role in the process. In the urban village, no matter residents or businesses all pay diligence and efforts to contribute to building up this modern city. They deserve respect. In this urban village reform, the projects of how to create a mold around the original tenement to allow more people to gain benefits and use the reform to support and serve them deserves to be deeply researched and discussed.